What's going on, guys? What's going on? Look, man, these Rocky movies, man, um, they're a trip. So anyway, I don't have time to do as many as I want, but so I'll be doing a series of this, all right? And if you have any recommendations, hey, comment section all day, all right? Don't leave it in the chat because the chat disappears, right? If you're gonna leave a recommendation, do it in the comment section once the comment section is available. Also, thanks to those joining me live and to those joining me on archive. Make sure you thumbs up the video, all right? And go ahead and share it. All right, two things we're gonna talk about. When the moral of the story in the Rocky movies, all right, we're wrong. Like they didn't make sense when you really thought about it. It didn't make sense. So let's talk about two. We're gonna do two right now, right? So the first one, all right, Rocky Balboa. The movie Rocky Balboa. How Rocky? What is he in his mid-50s at this point? Mid-50s, right? All beat up, all I mean, I don't know, right? So he wants to make a comeback because the quote unquote stuff in the basement. Like, ooh, I got stuff in the basement. All right, his son tells him, Dad, what are you doing? What do you mean you're gonna get in the ring? You're gonna embarrass yourself and stuff, And Rocky does this huge. It's all over YouTube, right? Oh, the world is a big and nasty place. No matter how hard you hit, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it, right? That whole speech is about his son, tell him not to go fight, right? Because he's an old man now, like he already lost his mother. Well, why would he want to lose his father? He wants to start fighting again, and they're trying to egg on a fight between the world heavyweight champion, who's played the Lion Dixon, by the way, who's played by Antonio Tarver, right? Who was, by the way, a dominant champion, right? Who had all these knockouts left and right, and this old ass Rocky Balboa, they're trying to convince him, to come back. And at first, Rocky has the right idea, right? He tells these promoters, he's like, hey, once played by Lou DiBella, right? Hey, look, I don't want to get all mangled and embarrassed, this, that, and the third, right? But then somehow he wants to go for it. Like everybody is all in on this somehow. Like everybody gets all in on the fight, right? So then Rocky tries to get licensed in Nevada, in Las Vegas, where the fight was going to take place. Right? Now, two things didn't make sense. I don't know about you guys, but number one, first they say you pass all the tests with flying colors. Right? First of all, there's no way Rocky passed all the tests with flying colors. Are you kidding me? I mean, do they expect us to just forget the other Rocky movies? Right? First of all, he was already, quote unquote, getting to the point of being washed up in the first Rocky. In the second Rocky, remember when he was blind from one eye? Remember Mickey slapped him and he didn't see the slap coming. And Mickey tells him, what do you think the world champion would have done to you? Remember this now, right? And then, he got beat up by Clubber Lang, came back, right? And then he had to fight with a Russian where he has constant flashbacks of the Russian beating on him, right? That is head trauma. Right? Are you telling me that they didn't see any head trauma on Rocky? Like, are you shitting me? No head trauma whatsoever? You didn't notice that he was bad from one eye? Like, for real? Like, you passed it with flying colors. Who foresaw this thing? The same people that were looking at the hand wraps of Antonio Margarito or what? Well, come on. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Get the hell out of here. Right? But anyway, all right. So you don't let someone, first of all, hasn't had a professional fights in decades. Number one. Number two, is old as shit. Number three, there's no way he passed those tests with flying colors. Okay, you don't let somebody like that fight just because he gave a speech about how you don't want to let him fight and let him live his life. No. Sit your ass down. Okay, you don't get to fight the world champion. You old man, sit your ass down. What do you mean? Like, oh, it's my job. Let me do what I want to do, and you do what you want to do, and do what's right. The commission did not do what's right. Okay, they did not. If you're just going to let anybody fight just because they want to fight, then there's no need for a commission, is there? Right? So, number one, I don't believe he passed those tests. There's no way he passed those tests. There's no way. There's no way. Unless they want us to forget all these injuries and him being blind from one eye and all that. Okay, all the head trauma from the Ivan Drago fight. We're just supposed to just forget about that. Like it never happened or something, you know? Right? And what happens every time you get punched, you get flashbacks of Drago? Did it just disappear when he fought the Mason the Line Dixon? All right? So the moral story there, it wasn't right. No, you don't let old ass men, you know, faded world champions get in the ring and fight the current dominant heavyweight champion. You don't do that. You just don't do that. That would not happen today. Okay, you're not going to get Larry Holmes today out of retirement to fight Joshua. Okay, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? So if Mike Tyson walks into a room right now and demands that he fights the best heavyweight today, right, and let him do what he wants to do and let me believe in what I want to believe in, this, that, and the third, and he gets a title shot because of it, all right, tell me we'll all be okay with it? Of course we wouldn't, all right? That's one. The moral of the story was all wrong, okay? I mean, it just was. His son was right. You don't belong in the fucking boxing ring. What are you doing? Yeah, it wouldn't have been fun. Like, if how inspirational would that speech been if he would have been killed, right? It wouldn't have been very inspirational then, would it? No. But then again, the other one, Rocky, I believe it's Rocky 5. Okay, Rocky 5. The Rocky that a lot of people don't like, right? So let me get this straight, right? Rocky Balboa is coming back from Russia, right? He just had the fight of his life with Ivan Drago, and as soon as he arrives in the airport, his son has aged 10 years. Like all of a sudden, his son went from age 5 to like age 12, like in just that flight alone, right? So anyway, but in all seriousness, Rocky just survived. I mean, he just terrible head trauma. He doesn't know where he is, and you know, at this point, Adrian's like, "Oh, that's it. We can't continue fighting no more." He comes back, and the guy that plays Don King, I forget what the name of the guy was, but he wants Rocky to fight the #1 contender, and they're like, "No, no, no, no. You know, Rocky's retired." Blah 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 blah. Right? So then they find out that Paulie, right? Paulie hired somebody and gave him power of attorney, and Rocky lost all the millions, all of it. Adrian's brother now, right? His brother-in-law lost them millions. Millions. So they lost a house, they lost everything. And Rocky was not able to fight anymore. Now remember, he was all fucked up then. Remember that? Did they forget about that? You know, in Rocky Balboa, they forgot about that. But anyway, I mean, he's done for. He can't fight no more. You know, I mean, he couldn't fight when, you know, Adrian and his son, you know, needed a roof over their head. But when he was an old ass man at the age of 50, you know, no, almost 60 years old, he could come back and fight a dominant world champion. Right? You got to be shitting me, right? But anyway, what happens here, right? So Rocky Balboa is forced to just change his lifestyle. You know, he doesn't know what to do. He has no talents other than fighting. I mean, even before he was a rich boxer, he was an enforcer for the mob. You know, I mean, the dude was a criminal, all right? Like, right? But anyway, so what happens in this movie? I mean, what happens? Think about it. So let me get this straight. Rocky Balboa, who just had the fight of his life against Ivan Drago, won, right? And he comes back, and because of that, he can't box anymore, right? But they're like, hey, fuck it, we have millions. No, you don't. Your brother-in-law lost it all. Okay, thank you, Adrian's brother, you know, Paulie, right? And then what happens? He has to adjust to another lifestyle. Adrian has to go back to work. And Rocky's trying to find another way to make a living, Trying to be a man here, trying to find a way. He didn't want Adrian working. So then he ran into a young, up-and-coming boxer, a prospect. Rocky starts training this prospect, Tommy Gunn. Remember that? He's trying to train this guy, and he could make a living off of being a trainer for Tommy Gunn. This is good. It could take Adrian out of work. She doesn't have to work anymore. Take care of his son, his family. What happens? The son starts getting jealous that Rocky is training Tommy Gunn. I mean, he's like, oh, you don't give me attention, Dad. You're always with Tommy, And while Rocky's trying to make things work with Tommy Gunn, Adrian gets in his face and yells at him, screams at him, saying, Rocky, you're losing everything. You're losing your family. Adrian's like, are you serious? So first of all, Adrian, right? Number one, your son's walking around with fucking that gay-ass Aryan and shit. Right? That's number one. He was getting bullied at school. All right, so he was able to go to the boxing gym and learn, and he defended himself, got his jacket back, if you remember all that, right? Right? And that's great. All right? And that's good. But the reality is, when Adrian looked at him and screamed, Rocky, you're losing your family. Rocky, look at what you did. Look at everything you're doing. When in reality, it was all really Adrian's fault. Like, really, if you think about it. I mean, Adrian had no control of the matter. None. I mean, she tried to cut off Rocky's balls off, right? And say, no, I got this. I'll work. So trying to strip him of his manhood. And when he finally found something that would work, when he found his passion back, when he was involved in boxing again, he wanted to go back to boxing. And Adrian was like, no, you can't box. No, I won't let you. You'll die next time they hit you. Little does she know, the motherfucker went back to fight Mason the Lion Dixon like 20 years later. All right, but I mean, she caused a lot of these problems. She did. And here's Rocky, like, he's like, what am I doing? First of all, your brother lost his millions of dollars. That's number one, right? Number two, right? It's since your brother like ruined everything, is it too much to ask? Okay, you don't want him fighting, right? You don't want him boxing, fine. He found a passion. He found his passion back. He had a fighter he could train who had a lot of promise, who later on became the heavyweight champion of the world. But no, Adrian and their son ruined all that. They just did. If I was in Tommy Gunn's shoes, I'd do the same thing. I'd fucking split. Like, man, every time I'm here, like, the fucking son walks away, making it obvious that he doesn't like me. Adrian looks at me like I just did something terrible and shit. I'd leave too. I'm just being honest. Right? Rocky, I mean, what did he do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. Why did she scream at him? You're losing your family. Like, what did Rocky do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. He did nothing. Watch the movie again. He did nothing wrong. He's getting scolded at for no reason. What did he do? What did Rocky do? I mean, when Rocky was trying to make Christmas, keep in mind, 10 minutes before she screamed at him that, oh, you're losing your family, this, that, and the third, Rocky was trying to make Christmas fun. He had Paulie, who, by the way, still got along with him, didn't disown him or anything, dress up as Santa and try to make Christmas fun for his kid and all that, right? And you had Adrian like giving him a look like, oh, are you stupid? And the son look at him like, are you stupid? Well, he's just trying to make Christmas fun. That's it. And Paulie had presents. Rocky found a way to get your fucking ass ungrateful pieces of shit presents. And you showed no appreciation. None. And because the son gets up and says, you don't like me, Dad. You don't want anything to do with me, Dad. Like he was just trying to make Christmas fun. Okay, he dressed up your uncle as Santa, all right, to make Christmas fun, and you get up and you scold him with your fucking gay ass earring, and then you run away. And when he's trying to go outside to say, hey, what's going on? He just runs away, and then Tommy Gunn shows up, right, with gifts and shit. So like Rocky's like in the middle of everything, trying to make everything work out. And instead of just waiting for Rocky to settle the situation with Tommy Gunn, they made the whole thing difficult. That's all they did. And by the way, Rocky started running after the vehicle, right? And then his head started hurting. It was almost like a seizure, like, moment. Which, by the way, they forgot it at Rocky Balboa. Apparently, he wasn't having those anymore, right? But what did Rocky do? What did he do wrong? He was trying to make amends with Tommy Gunn. He was trying to make amends with his son. His son runs away, and then Adrian gets in front of him and says, "You're losing your family." Basically, said, "You're a piece of shit, Rocky. Look at everything you did, Rocky. Like you might as well blame him for everything. Like it's all his fault." This is a guy who just fought the fight of his life, almost got killed by some fucking roided up Russian over there in Russia. All right? Lost his career because of it, even though he came back 30 years later. Right? We're going to forget about that. All right? But he lost everything, all the millions because of her brother. Right? And then they have to move to a poor ass neighborhood. He's trying to find a way to make money. And when he finds a way, they give him a hard time about it. Like, oh, how dare you train another boxer and bring him here, and then he has his son, like, with a gay earring yelling at him, okay, because he can't give him attention 100% of the time. Okay, are you shitting me? And then he tries to make Christmas fun, and he gets scolded because of it. Fuck Adrian, fuck his son with that gay-ass earring, all right? And that's it. All right, the whole thing was messed up. Adrian was in the wrong, okay, and I don't know, like what are we supposed to learn from that? How do you look at that movie and say, oh yeah, I could really learn from that? It gives you all the wrong lessons, right? It shows you that it's okay to be a spoiled little brat, to want attention 100% of the time, right? It shows you that even if your brother-in-law finds a way to fuck up all your money, right? You still got to be cool with him, and your wife still gets to scold you all the time when things don't go right, right? I mean, that's basically what the movie fucking taught us. Fucked up life lessons. I'm out here. Peace.